what success is. What is success according to you? What do you think? कामयाबी किसे कहते हैं? आपके लिए कामयाबी क्या है? What is success according to you? Anybody?
आप सोचिए वॉलमार्ट हर दिन ऐसे हजारों लोगों के पास they used to give it free of cost. And this is I'm talking about 1980s. Walmart was emerging, and in 2001, the business worked where once upon a time, my dad went to have the report. There used to be reporting at that time. Any company, emerging company needs fund, got to have a report. With that report only they will raise funds. With that report, my dad after seeing them and said that there are people who are cheating you. Do you know what they are doing to you? And the manager there replied saying, I know what they are doing to me, but they don't know what we are doing to them. So, this is a story what I heard in my childhood. He asked, what did you do to them? And he replied, I am giving them that experience that they can never forget in their life. It was emerging company in 2001 business magazine. Walmart surrendered and Walmart becomes world's biggest empire, raising $1 billion sales every day. $1 billion sales every day. They tried solving a problem. Bill Gates introduced Microsoft. What is happening in Microsoft? 80% of Microsoft's sale is from pirated versions. People are pirating Microsoft's the software and they are selling it. So 80% चोरी कोई business में हो और वो बंदा दुनिया का successful आदमी बन सके, is it possible? Any business 80% चोरी हो रही है. People are stealing them. And Microsoft, you know what it is. Bill Gates becomes one of he was a long time richest man of this world. So what my point here is, firstly, the very fundamental step to success and my dimension of success, the complete talk will have two dimensions. One is in this world, next is the second part hereafter. We'll not get into depth of it, but in little aspects I'll just clear you out. Okay. So major dimension I'm talking about how you get successful here, right? So you see that any company, Reliance tried solving a problem. Bill Gates tried solving a problem. Amazon tried solving a problem. Amazon started with selling books, today one of the richest companies of the world. Tesla, you know Tesla, he's a crazy guy. Elon Musk, he says things which are very fancy, but people are interested in his idea. Why? Because he's not asking for himself, he's asking for our people, for the humanity. Bill Gates have a foundation, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. They are supporting, helping people all around the world, and they're trying to solve the water problems. So my point here is, success is not defined by how much talented you are. Success is not about how skilled. Alibaba's Jeff. Jack Ma, thank you. So Jack Ma is not the most talented person out there. He knows how to handle people. He's one of the richest part. And there are people everywhere who are doing wonderful in their life, and that wonder is happening not because they are so talented, not because they are having so much potential. It is because, yes, they got a vision. So number one principle to become successful is you having a proper vision. And your vision should not only have you, but your vision should have people, and that's when success starts, because these are laws of nature, gentlemen. It's not me who made it, it's not somebody else. And it's not some mantra what they richest people are practicing. These are fundamental laws which are created by nature. My job here is just to collect them and introduce before them. So my point here is, the biggest achievement in your life is to discover the right vision. Okay. Now coming to some time-tested tools how one could become successful. The very first thing what you got to understand is to become responsible. You understand that your teacher is not responsible on your future, your parents are not responsible for your future, nobody else other than you are responsible for your future. It's you who is responsible to do, who you should take this challenge inside you that it's me. Somebody is not helping me, I have financial crisis, I don't know how to do things, I don't know what should I become. The biggest problem of us, we generation, is that there are so many options. You could be an engineer, you could be a lawyer, you could be a doctor, and after engineering there are so many domains, cyber security, if you're from computer science background, or if you're from various backgrounds, there are so many options you have. What is that one thing which you're made for? And if you can't find that, there's no use of doing it. Like, because आप देखेंगे कि जो इंसान whatever job they are doing, जब वो वापस आएंगे घर को थके हारे आ रहे हैं, उनके अंदर they are not energized. They don't find, okay, I had a great day. They don't say that. They say that I'm tired today and I don't have much time to speak to their family. This is not something, because when does a person becomes tired? Doing something they don't wish to do. You see, I have a brother, he gets tired reading. Whenever exams, he studies whole day, he's so tired that, you can't imagine that, he's so tired. And I asked, why are you so tired? And I observed this analysis, I got that they are tired because they are doing something they are not interested for. What I am telling you, can anybody get tired in love? Doing something which you really love to do? No. Because Elon Musk says for 12 hours standing on their own legs, he doesn't get tired. Why are we getting tired? We are getting tired because we are doing something we don't love to do. He is there because he is doing something which he is made for. He loves doing that. So my most important point here is your vision should get aligned with passion of your life, what you're made for. The biggest question you could answer in your whole life is not a trigonometry question, is not an engineering question, it's not some question what your family members ask, but that's a question you got to ask yourself, what am I passionate about? And the very good principle which really helped me to discover what success is and what helped me to grow in my life is this question which I got answered: how can I serve people around? If you can answer this, then you have climbed the first step to the success journey, to the road of success. It's a big road, it's a huge road. It's a road of people joining you, people leaving you, betrayals. Once my elder said me this, that ये जो सफ़र अपनी पसंद का सफ़र है, इसमें आपको सांप भी मिलेंगे, बिच्छू भी मिलेंगे और बहुत सारे जानवर मिलेंगे. हर किसी के अंदर कोई अलग सिफत मिलेगी, हर किसी से सीखना है, बट रास्ता नहीं छोड़ना है. इसीलिए नहीं छोड़ना है क्योंकि this is the path which you find. See, sometimes we can make mistakes on discovery of passion what we have, but every time you try discovering and answering and getting inside you, worrying about yourself and worrying about what I can do, you'll have an answer. You'll find ways to do things. I have helped startups in the entrepreneurial world. We have been there in this market for so long, and I have been helping startups grow. And I have seen one thing: the startups which grow, which are raising billions of dollars every day, as fund. I'm not talking about the business, the profits. As fund, they are raising millions of dollars, and the only reason is that they have passion, and they have that one thing inside them. Yes, I can, and I will. Okay. So I guess the self-discovery among yourself is so important, and that will lead you to the greater goals. So understand what your passion is and discover. Okay, can anybody define what passion is? Here, if you understand. Yes, please. Little louder, please.
For me, passion is about what you love to do and what you focus on.
Agree. Thank you very much. Please give a big round of applause. Anybody else? What do you think passion is? Because this is not a new word for us. We hear it all the time. Passion, passion, passion. What is passion according to you? So, being little boy, passion is ishq, junoon, diwangi, pagalpan, and that's a stage of person where he never gets tired. I love speaking. My highest record, I spoke for 8 long hours, standing on the same foot, and it was great experience. I'm passionate about doing that. And the same thing, passion, it's not discovered outside, it's inside out, not outside in. You don't find it outside. You don't see that somebody is doing cyber security so that there's so much scope and I should also do that. That's not passion. Somebody says that there's so much money there, do that is why you're doing it. That's not passion. Passion comes from the inside. It could be cricket, it could be anything, like anything. But if you catch that, you grow, you do wonders. So this is about passion, and coming to the very important part and very crucial part, just like I said, that your success is not you, your success is your people, right? And I see the biggest crisis in our youth is that we are so me that Ikigai, the art of living, we have been working unconditionally. In fact, this is not a profit-making venture. It's not something we're doing for profits, right? It is something we're doing to serve humanity. That is the target we took. As a student, I have suffered a lot. I've been into many failures, and I have been into the process where people quit, people give up, and our system could be the greatest system. There's so much talent among you. There is so much potential among you, and there are things which we could do to achieve that greatest among us, but there is a lack of discovery of potentials. What do I have? What can I do? What is that thing inside me which makes me different from others? This is the biggest discovery, and just like I quoted that that quotation, that if you discover yourself and if you know what your potentials are, that's when you really need not worry about success anymore, because you know what you are already on the process to succeed. So, Ikigai deals with purpose of life, discovering हम बने क्यों हैं, why do we exist? We just don't exist to have a fruitful life, कमाएं, फिर भागें, फिर आप पैसे के पीछे भाग रहे हैं, फैमिली बनाने के पीछे भाग रहे हैं और फिर मर जा रहे हैं. This is not why you're born. There's a very big, बात सोचिए, if you, one more element of success, I guess, this is too important for you to understand, is that where are you coming from? Do you know what your history is? Do you know Indian blood, where does it come from? If you get into history, there are some very beautiful time-tested tools to become successful. And at that time, you don't have companies, you have empires. There is an empire, and there are fightings between empire, but you learn from that. So, a greatest person among you is who know their history. Where do I come from? And if you get answering these questions, you will discover that, okay, I have been this, what my ancestors did wrong, I'm not supposed to do it. To study, we leave our parents. To grow, we leave our families. To get financially stable, we leave our traditions, ethics, morals, everything. And I tell you, that group of people who don't respect their ethics, who don't respect their traditions, and who are not loyal to the parents who gave birth to them, you can't expect anything from them. They are already into this world, and they are too depressed. People are too depressed here. People don't even know that they are depressed. They get angry easily. There is no emotional management. There is no time management. They can cry anytime, they smile anytime, they get angry anytime, and I guess because success, the biggest element is emotional management. You will get rejections. You know how many times we got rejection? We get rejected so many times. Literally, हमारे बंदे जो आके कॉलेज को फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट सेमिनार्स या जो हमारी सर्विसेज से पिच करने की कोशिश कर रहे थे, उनको निकाले गए. मतलब they were thrown out, they were rejected, and this is the biggest element. हमारी सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम तो ये है कि हमें किसी ने मसला नहीं है, हमें किसी ने इतनी बुरी तरीके से गिराया नहीं है कि आपके अंदर से वो आ जाए. देखिए एक लॉ है, आप अमेरिका की एक बड़ी इंस्टीट्यूशन है जिसका नाम है पिग्मेलियन इंस्टीट्यूशन. ठीक है, ये एक आपको मैं 3 डिकेड्स पहले का एक किस्सा बनाता हूँ जिसमें ये पिग्मेलियन इफेक्ट, जो पिग्मेलियन इफेक्ट एक वन ऑफ मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट साइकोलॉजिकल एस्पेक्ट है. जो साइकोलॉजी पढ़ रहे हैं उनको पता रहेगा कि पिग्मेलियन इफेक्ट क्या है. सो पिग्मेलियन effect was introduced by around 3 decades ago. There was a person वो मूर्ति बनाता था. ठीक है, ये जो स्कल्पचर होता है, राइट. तो वो बंदा एक बहुत मेहनत से एक मूर्ति बनाता है एक लेडी की, और विद टाइम इट वाज अराउंड मैं जब 3 decades कह रहा हूँ तो वो इटाली का कहीं भी गया था. ठीक है, तो विद टाइम व्हाइल दे वर ग्रोइंग, वो जो स्कल्पचर था वो बंदे को, दैट मैन fall in love with that sculpture. He didn't marry. People used to ask him, get married. He used to say that, no, I will not get married, I'll marry this sculpture. People laughed at him. He was rejected, he was denied from everybody. Nobody was buying their products anymore. And the government that time declared him mental. Pagal declare kar diya gaya. Now, after his death, he died with the same emotion. After his death, exactly 100% ditto copy वो जो मूर्ति बनी थी, she came into existence. People were like, what? How can this be happening? सब परेशान हो गए, सब सोचने लग गए. साइंटिस्ट ये जो फिनोमिना था इसको ढूंढ रहे हैं, और इस पे जब रिसर्च की तो they realized, they found out that there is an effect called Pygmalion effect, which means किसी चीज को आप इतनी शिद्दत से जानें तो वो चीज एग्जिस्ट हो जाती है, यहाँ तक कि the natural power, the super powers get back a step and give you that thing. So my question is, do we have that shiddat? Like, did you want anything for to have that with that emotion, that deep emotion inside you? And we are wanting things which are too less. You just wanted to be rich, you just wanted to have this life, and you are so minute to yourself. There's so much inside you. You could do wonders. And you're born to do wonders. The point is, we don't discover ourselves. And when you start discovering yourself, that's when change happens. That's when things change. Everything changes around you. And one more important thing to success is you should have a routine. Routine plays a key role to one's success. I recommend few books. If you read, if you have time, if you develop this habit of reading, that would be really beneficial for you. There's a book called 5 a.m. Club. Robin Sharma, if anybody right here. So 5 a.m. Club is one of the funnest bestsellers we have. That book shows you why people are rich just by waking up at 5. Before 5 a.m. you wake up, you have a routine, and that's how you become rich. There is another book called Atomic Habits, James Clear. Atomic Habit is one of the funnest books where you can learn how your habits are and how you change your habits. There are many, we are doing sessions on this topic as well in detail, but I am just telling you that learn to have a proper routine. Your routine defines what person you are. Your definition to yourself. आप अपने आप की अहमियत नहीं रख सकते. आप लोगों से एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं कि लोग आपकी अहमियत करें. That's not happening. You first have to respect yourself. You should know who you are. You respect yourself first. We don't even have respect. Like, for something you are even ready to go. You're ready to give your everything. That's not happening. Respect yourself. Know who you are. And आप खुद को अहम समझ रहे हैं. अच्छा ये बताएं कि कोई इंसान खुद को अहम क्यों समझे? Why should you find yourself important? क्योंकि आप बहुत बड़े आदमी के बेटे हैं, क्योंकि आप रिच हैं, क्योंकि आपके अंदर बहुत जहानत है, क्योंकि आप बहुत अमीर है, क्योंकि आपके अंदर बहुत सारे अच्छे चीज़ें हैं। ये चीज़ें अगर आपके दिमाग में हैं जिसकी वजह से आप अपने आप को अहम समझते हैं, तो जनाब बदल दें। You have to change the definition why you find yourself important. You should find yourself important because nature didn't want to see this world without you. We could have been born in 1200s, we could have been born in some 19s and 18s where everywhere war.
And that's what change happens. They spend time fighting in the bookstores for having books. We spend time fighting to eat. You will find us fighting in the, आप सड़कों पे जब लड़ाई देखेंगे तो खाने के लिए देखेंगे. You work on the things. फेल होना गलत नहीं है, लेकिन वही गलती बार बार करना बहुत बड़ी गलती है. आप गलती करें, सीखें, फिर गलती करें, लेकिन नई गलती करें, पिछली वाली गलती मत दोहराएं. तो my point here is, we have been working with many students actually all around the world, and we have been treating the psychological aspects of students. कि बच्चे फेल हो रहे हैं तो they are trying to do suicides. There was recently a case we got in Hyderabad itself that there is a child who got their result and he almost committed the suicide. Their parents were so rich and they having everything, but they could not control their child. And that pain, what we see in parents' eyes, it's too deep. We cannot understand until and unless you really feel it, you really observe it. Your parents have sacrificed so much for you. It's not easy. It's not really easy to be what you are. And this process, this journey of knowing yourself and the potentials and working on the passion you discover, it's a long process. There are nights we see every day कि आपको डर लगने लगेगा, आपका ज़मीर आवाज़ करने लगेगा, आपको you cannot sleep properly, you have that pain inside you, but this is good. डर अच्छा होता है, but which डर अच्छा होता है? डर आपके अंदर के बेढंगेपन को और आपके जो आपकी मिजाज में गड़बड़ है, इसके लिए इसको कंट्रोल करने तक अच्छा है. लेकिन आप कुछ बड़े काम के लिए डर रहे हैं, that is not it. You don't have to have fear for rejection. Don't fear for rejection. Fear for not trying, because regret is more worse than rejection. When you see yourself behind and you find you doing nothing, you'll have regret inside you. And regret is not something you got to choose. It's your choice. Choose story, choose feeling. It's okay. Get your best. Try something new. Try to solve a problem. Serve humanity, and there is so much opportunity for you. I tell you, if you believe in yourself, if you walk on the righteous path, and if you are determined to do something, you're consistent, you're disciplined within yourself, then success is all yours, gentlemen. It is a long journey, but it's a worthwhile journey to live around, right? So I really wish all of you that you all achieve the greater goals of your life, you discover the greater goals of your life, you work on your passion, and you be the future. आज हमारी कौम का मुस्तकबिल आपके सामने बैठा है, मेरे सामने मेरे कौम का मुस्तकबिल बैठा है. तो मैं आपसे यही कहता हूँ कि जनाब, ख्वाब छोटे नहीं देखें, ख्वाब बड़े देखें, और इस बड़े ख्वाब की जर्नी पे हार जीत होगी, बट आपने हारना नहीं है. नेवर गिव अप, गिव योर बेस्ट, believe in yourself, you're born to rule, and you will conquer a lot more. So we can have question answer series now. So thank you very much. Thank you everybody for being so patient. It was so humble speaking to you all. And one last thing I just would like to, there are some good opportunities. For this patience, I'm introducing some opportunities, but there are hard work, there are efficiencies, there are efforts you got to make. There are some international opportunities where you could also be monitored by the greatest CEOs. There are some ways where we could arrange meetings and trainings to you with
the greatest leaders like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and a lot of people all around the world. There are opportunities in various countries as an internship where you could have some financial stability, but more than financial stability, there are so much of learnings. So definitely you can get connected with us. We are always there for students, our people. We are open for them. So and tons of opportunities we do have, and we're trying to introduce it to the students. So please give that thing, give that a thought, and we will achieve the greatest. So thank you very much. Thank you all. Have a great day ahead.
Thank you so much, Mr. Muqtader. Indeed, it was a very mind-blowing session. He is not, he's a young boy, right? Just like you all, and he was able to speak for more than 1 hour at stretch. And I'm sure many students among you all also are good enough to come here and speak, right? So now I'm throwing open the questions for you all. You've been listening to him for such a long time. If there are any questions, please. They are holding the mic in their hands, so please raise your hands and we'll start the questionnaire session. Introduce yourself and then ask the question.
I am Abdul, CSC. My question is in the journey of road to success.
Without that option. Always come here. Come here and that's better.
In the journey of road to success, there is breaker or comes or not, and also in India there is some beaches. So you could not explain about the beaches and the breakers. How we face the breakers and beaches, just like problems. In the journey of road to success, how we face the problems.
Thank you very much. Your good name? Albert. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Please come and ask questions here. Because that mic isn't working, I want you to come and ask questions here.
All right. So that was a really great question. I really appreciate for him for asking that question. The barriers, definitely on the righteous path, there are so many barriers. No doubt, if you want to be successful, then there are contributions you got to make. There is struggle, there are efforts, there are rejections, there are problems, there are failures. There's so much of negatives. But I guess the biggest element what you could have is belief. The power of belief, if you use it, and you have that right. You know, your subconscious mind is powerful. It is capable to do wonders. It is capable to make these wonders. If anybody of you know what law of attraction is, and I recommend that you all have a study on law of attraction, and you will find out that you yourself are capable. It's here. Success is not about making out things outside, but sometimes success is working inside. Your brain is so capable and you can manifest what you want to have, and it happens. But if you give up, if the barrier before you eats you up, then that's where you're lost. So my point, my suggestion would be, I don't call myself a teacher, I would rather prefer calling myself a catalyst. So to enhance your process, I could just suggest you a few things. And the very fundamental thing in this barrier, in the speed breakers of your journey is your biggest speed breaker would be your own you. Your family members might say that this is not something you got to do, but that belief inside you, that vision to do something big, and that consistent approach towards that day is what we all require. And I guess it's a journey. It's a journey which is memorable. So I recommend you walk. You read a lot. There's so much to read. There's so much to learn. Never have faith inside you that you know everything. We lack knowledge. There's so much to learn. I'm learning. You should also learn. Journey of learning should not stop. And journey of trying more should not stop. Give ways. Try differently. Complete your process, and then I guess those speed breakers won't be a hurdle anymore. All right. Thank you very much for
Okay,
the
the next question, please. Anyone else? Come on. Yeah, please.
Assalamualaikum.
You can go there and ask questions. Use that microphone.
Assalamualaikum. So my question particularly is, before I get to my question, I want to let you know a pretty series of things. You know, entrepreneurs these days, the first gen entrepreneurs, do not actually require the skills and knowledge that's being provided to them in schools and colleges. So if you take the example of Elon Musk, as you were giving now, he is the CEO, Tesla, SpaceX, and he doesn't have a master's or a bachelor's in aerospace engineering or automobile engineering. What he has is amazing communication skills. He uses that to interact with people with whom have masters or expertise in their particular field. So I'm only saying this because I have a good follow-up question. What is more important in a career, education or experience?
Thank you very much for the question. I really appreciate the question. Good name? Okay, good. Alright, thank you very much. Please give a big round of applause for this. Education is important, but experience is really crucial. Without experience, you have degrees, you have PhDs, you can do nothing. And I also would like to say there's a thought in youth that without education, without giving up on education, you could lead to the life what you're desiring, then that's not going to happen. You should have proper education. Education is crucial because education introduces, it gives you that model to you, it sustains you to the environment, ecosystem. Education is crucial, but if there is somewhere you could grab experience, grab an opportunity, then I guess definitely experience matters more. You cannot weigh both, you cannot compare both. Just like the example he gave, that Elon Musk is not so educated, he doesn't have degree, but he's doing great in his life because he's following his passion. It's absolutely right that he don't have, and that case cannot be considered to everybody. I always had this thought to give this education up and I should start my journey, and I believe that I could do wonders. I have that belief inside me. But what I learned with time is that education is crucial because our generation, especially the atmosphere we are living at, there's a lack of discipline, there's lack of potential discovery, there's a lack of those manners, ethics which we require. So I guess education is crucial. Education develops that ideology, that big vision. Without education, because you can say Bill Gates was not capable, he was said he was not capable to have master's degree, but later he was given PhD after becoming the millionaire. So education, degrees are not education. Don't define having so many degrees is education. Instead, learnings, so many learnings what you have, so many practical learnings what you have, that is right education, and without education you cannot be successful. So I would just like to add on that. Thank you very much for the question. Any other questions? Yes, please.
I want somebody from the girls' side to ask a question, please.
As you already know, I had some expectations with your addresses today. So, my expectations were in response to my question with life right now. Like, as you yourself has told us that we need to find some kind of routine, some kind of schedule to manage ourselves. But life is chaos itself. We cannot get everything to go in order we want it. Like, I find solace in myself that everyone else is also experiencing this, but I have read books, I have listened to people who know better than me, probably, speak about it. But how can I get myself in some particular order that I can accomplish better things? Also, that is there some kind of, like for example, different people have different normalities to things. Like some people will have high blood pressure all the time. That is normal to them. Some people like to get physical with everything. That is normal to them. So, normality or schedule or routine to everyone, is it different for everyone?
Thank you very much, Ibrahim. Zain, okay, alright. Thank you very much. Please give a big round of applause for the question. Yes. Alright, so routine and schedule may differ to person again according to their vision, what they have, what the mission they want, what is the accomplishment they have. But if you consider health scenario, if you especially focus on health, the routine is similar. You wake up morning, you wake up 5, you have a exercising habit, you have reading habit. So see, if you define yourself, it's not only physical body, it's mental health, it's emotions, and it's a spiritual belief also have a very key role in your health. So if you define yourself, then you've got to be perfect in all the ways. Just like you said, people get emotionless and they get angry easily, they get they fight, they get physical easily. So my point here is, this won't happen if he or she is emotionally fit. If they are emotionally unfit, that is why they are doing this. If somebody is emotionally fit and somebody understands that this is what response I could give to that person, is it really needed to respond? Sometimes you got to be quiet, and it's good for you, right? So I guess routine is necessary because when you do it, you develop a discipline inside you. You have that ethics, you train yourself, you program that future which you wish to achieve. So I guess that is what I would like to say about this. Any other question? Anything? Anybody else? Yeah, please.
Come, anyone from the girl side? Please come. Anyone?
Assalamu alaikum. I want to ask, if there were no obstacles in your way, what would you need to do to find success? If there were no obstacles.
If there were no obstacles, what would I do to find success? For me, success cannot be found without obstacles, because if there are no obstacles, I don't. If you don't have obstacles in your life, you don't get that thing inside you. You're not thrown out now. You're not rejected. So everything is going fruitful now. People who became successful were extremely rejected, and they had so many obstacles, but they were consistent to their goal. That's why they are successful. So I guess obstacles are necessary.
Right? There's one boy questioning.
Assalamu alaikum. My question is to you is that how to handle negative thoughts? Negative thoughts. How to handle it?
This is one of the most crucial questions. I really appreciate a big round of applause, please. Negative thoughts. There is nobody among human existence that don't have negative thoughts. We exist in this world because there was a negative thought. There was Adam and Islam who denied to Allah's call. That is why humans came into this world. So negative things, negative thoughts are there in everybody's life. The ones who become successful, and I just like I said, emotional management, it is very important for you to know how to handle them. So if you are sitting with negative people, if you see people who are laughing at each other, if you see people who are negative, you know what negative is, and when you are into that atmosphere, you are automatically negative. But if you are into this world, that let it be anything, I'll find the best approach. For that you should know yourself. For that you should know what good is, what bad is. And this thing is the major responsibility of education system, colleges, to give this cultural awareness to the students that these are the good things what we got to do, these are the bad things which we are we're supposed to avoid. So avoiding negative thoughts is difficult, but replacing negative thoughts with the positive ones, it is possible. So I guess you should work on this. You should focus on the good part. There are good happening around you, and there is so much good inside you. You question about negative because you know that there are positive inside you. So you should first try to overcome this negative thoughts, and you cannot get rid of it completely. The main thing what you could do is you could replace it with the positive thoughts, positive approach. And routine part, when I say when you're totally busy whole day from morning to night, you're scheduled and you don't have time for anything now. You're programming yourself. So that is how things can happen today, right? So don't try to kill negative thoughts, because when you try to suppress something, the law of nature is that when you throw a ball down, it bounces back. That's how people get successful. You know, when just like I said, आपको किसी ने मसला नहीं है, दबाया नहीं है. जब आपको इस तरीके से मसला जाएगा, then you will have that bounce back facility. We are missing that bounce back facility. The same way, if you suppress negative thoughts, you'll bounce back. They'll get more. Don't suppress negative thoughts. Let it be there. Understand, accept that it is part of human existence to have negative thoughts. And with that, have a right approach. Right approach to solve that problem. Alright? I hope I have cleared your question. Thank you very much.
I think we are done with questions, right, students? Is there anybody from the girls' side? Not a single question, right? So, okay, I'll put one question before we end the program. Now, Ikigai, as I told you in the beginning, it seems Iki means life and Gai means work. Now, we all are, like physically, mentally very sound. All of us sitting here. But what is the Ikigai of people who are challenged, special children, right? For the special children, or even for the old age, the people who are still in old age homes. And just yesterday we had the blood donation camp, and thalassemia patients, where they don't, the blood is not formed in them. What is their Ikigai? What do you think should be their Ikigai? What is their purpose of life? Thank you.
That's great. That's one of the finest questions we have. So, Ikigai's journey started from a Japanese island called Okinawa. I guess you're familiar with that, man. You're familiar with Okinawa? Yeah. So, Okinawa Island, there is this island in this where Ikigai, loves Ikigai, came from there. So, that word was generated because in Okinawa, there are people who live for hundreds of years, and in that age, like hundreds and 120 years of life, they're still happy. At their last stages of their life, they were practicing things and they were able to do everything. What happens here? People after certain age, they stop doing things and they are unable to eradicate things, and they are unable to have that, that belief inside them is dead now that they can do something, right? So the biggest challenge what I find in this old age, and what we are also trying to solve, is that firstly, this body has the strength, has the capability to do really, to achieve everything, almost everything. Because when somebody from another island is able to solve this issue, is able to, they are able to survive, they are able to manage this, but why are we unable to? Because the biggest thing what Ikigai or that Okinawa island teaches us is that they are regularly in practice, they are regularly in a routine which leads them to a habitual life. That life is what is necessary to know at that stage of life to be happy. So I guess there's one successful person I recently met who was a handicap, but he's doing great at his part. So what my perspective here is, if you're handicapped, if you're physically challenged, you have a bigger cause to understand, bigger reason that yes, I am special. And that process of realizing how special, unique you are is a challenge. If that challenge, that barrier is still out, and if barrier is removed out, then I guess every old person out there can live a sustainable life. And I guess the biggest I would like to add on here is that one of the major things for somebody to live a happy life, happy life, happy, long life, is that your eating habits. We are so into the non-veg, and we are so into the food coming from outside. We don't know the value of natural food. So I guess those who are regularly in having those natural food, and they have that habit to have the natural food, they live a better life, and that stage is crucial because digestive process becomes so difficult at that proper stage. So I guess for that you should have a proper routine, and we all should know that someday we're gonna be at that stage. For that, what is the preparation you have made? You should have that regular practice inside you. You should plan things out there, and diet plays a very crucial role for that. I hope I have answered that. Thank you very much.
One last question from Aisha ma'am. Before that, I should tell you students, there in Japan, the elderly people are treated with much love, much respect. The way they are treated, oh my God, we can't even hear the moment, we cross our 60s or we are in our 70s. I mean, they are considered old and burden on us. But there in Japan, it's the other way around. The more they live, the value of that person becomes greater, if I'm not wrong. Right? So this is how. Now one last question from Aisha ma'am before we end up, because it's time now, it's almost 20 minutes to 4, one question from you.
Sir, how would you define by saying success is not the destination, it's a journey? So why are we concluding with success? Isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely success is the process of success is in journey and is in walking. People who became successful love the path which you walk. That is why in the talk I have mentioned about passion, because that's the crucial element to walk to reach the destination. And the visionary leaders don't have a proper destination. When we have a starting idea, when we even started Ikigai, we don't know that is what our destination is. Our destination always evolved. Started with students, now we are into parents, and we are in India we have introduced parenting as a concept. So I guess success is not a destination, you're exactly right with it, but that process, that vision, and that is what I'm trying to deliver here, is that your vision to walk on that path, and that consistent vision with a proper discipline leads you to a destination. But that destination is not defined. It's not defined. It's a long way to walk, a lot more to walk. Because if it was to be defined, then Bill Gates would have to stop long back when Microsoft was already into everybody's room. So he is still working, because success is not a destination, it's a process. It's a process of performance. That is what I would like to say.
Thank you so much, Mr. Muqtader. I think he was able to answer all our questions, right? So, how did you feel, students? Right? Wonderful session? Yes, thank you so much. Now, before we conclude, let me take the opportunity to thank Mr. Muqtader who has come here. I mean, he was very passionate. That is what, I look in for speakers. They should be passionate enough to come and convey the message to the students so that it touches their heart. So this is what I think he has touched many hearts here today, right? Okay. Yeah. Now there's one feedback form given here.
Scanner, QR scanner.
Okay, you can scan from there, and I don't know what is in that. The feedback is given there, okay? So kindly scan and give your feedback. Right?
Now I would request Zain ma'am to felicitate our speaker and the guest of the day.